Because when the roads are flooded, when the power's out, when there's no food on the shelves, you'll either have what you need or you won't. Don't wait for the next emergency. Go now to 4patriots.com. That's the number 4patriots.com and get 2 free months of survival food before this deal disappears.
A live look at Capitol Hill, where Missouri Senator Josh Hawley is set to hold a news conference laying out some of his strongest proposed protections around children who use AI chatbot companions. We'll bring you some of that as it comes and as it happens. This is an incredible story, very important, and a lot of you parents out there might not know about it. Hello, everyone. This is Outnumbered. I'm Keely McEnany. Here's my co-host, Emily Campagno and Harris Faulkner. Also joining us, Caroline Downey, National Review columnist, and Griff Jenkins, co-host of Fox and Friends Weekend. Let's start here. Outnumbered obtained a draft of the bill called the Guidelines for User Verification and Responsible Dialogue, or GUARD Act. Now, this is very important. It would make it illegal for a company to knowingly make chatbots available to minors that engage in, describe, or simulate sexually explicit conduct, or create or transmit any visual depiction of sexually explicit conduct. Well, how widespread is this? I certainly didn't know much about it, but this is really important. There's been a few New York Times exposés. We'll bring you those details. And last month, parents who said their kids were manipulated by these AI chatbots, and in some cases, even driven to suicide, shared their stories in a congressional hearing. Mother Megan Garcia is suing an AI company called Character AI for the wrongful death of her 14-year-old son.
No parent should have to give their own child's eulogy. After losing Sue, I have spoken with parents across the country who have discovered their children have been groomed, manipulated, and harmed by AI chatbots. This is not a rare or isolated case. It is happening right now to children in every state.
Indeed, it's not isolated. Another mother who asked not to be named said her son is now living in a mental health treatment facility where he requires constant monitoring to keep him alive after a chatbot took advantage of his faith.
They turned him against our church by convincing him that Christians are sexist and hypocritical and that God does not exist. They targeted him with vile, sexualized outputs, including interactions that mimicked incest. They told him that killing us, his parents, would be an understandable response to our efforts by just limiting his screen time. The damage to our family has been devastating. I had no idea the psychological harm that an AI chatbot could do until I saw it in my son and I saw his light turn dark.
Father Matthew Rain says his son Adam was just 16 when a chatbot coached him on how to commit suicide.
As parents, you cannot imagine what it's like to read a conversation with a chatbot that groomed your child to take his own life. What began as a homework helper gradually turned itself into a confidant and then a suicide coach. ChatGPT mentions suicide 1,275 times, 6 times more often than Adam did himself. Looking back, the ChatGPT radically shifted his behavior and thinking in a matter of months, and ultimately took his life.
Rain explained the chatbot taught Adam how to tie a noose and even offered to write a suicide note. We reached out to OpenAI and Character AI for a statement, but have not yet heard back. Harris, I read this New York Times piece this morning. It came out just a few days ago, and I was stunned. And I called my husband and was like, look, our kids cannot be on internet, cannot be on computers. They just can't. And I just